ripple in the ocean that impacts everything.
Yes, yes, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's powerful work. And whoever it was that decided that driver's ed kids needed to know about organ donation, that's a beautiful gift. And I'm so glad that you are one that is in there educating and teaching these kids. And there's something that the kids call you at the driver's ed when you are doing your work. Can you share that with us?
Yes, they call me the Skittle Lady because Skittles was Kayla's favorite candy, and she wrote a paragraph. She wrote it. Actually, what she wrote was uh, um, an assignment to answer the question whether you're an optimist or pessimist, and she backed up her reasons why she was an optimist. And then, she had this concluding paragraph about Skittles that I read to the kids and pass out Skittles to them. So, yeah, people call me the Skittles lady.
I love it. I love it. And you shared with me, so this is kind of, I just remembered this when we had our conversation. We were talking about receiving signs from our girls, and you receive a sign or signs from Kayla. Can you share with us what those signs are?
Yes, it happens more than once. I had to start writing it down because I would forget. About 8 to 10 times in the past 11 years, we will look down at the oddest places and there will be one purple Skittle sitting there. Now, prior to the accident, Santa always gave her big 5-pound bags of Skittles, and I like the purple ones, so she would pull them out and put them in a little baggie and put them on my nightstand. So whenever I look down and see a purple Skittle, I call that a hug from Kayla. She's still giving me purple Skittles. And one example that just really blew us away was we were in a store debating if we should buy a bag of Skittles and bring it to the next holiday, because sometimes we have a bowl of Skittles at each holiday. And for whatever reason, I changed my mind and I said, no, we're not going to do it. And I kind of tossed it back on the shelf. The bag broke open about 1 inch and one Skittle fell out and it was purple. And my husband said, I think Kayla's telling you to buy the bag of Skittles. So we did.
Oh, don't you love it? And I
Yeah.
so love when men are on board with that, because sometimes that seems a little bit like men are like, oh, I'm not touching that. But I love that your husband was the one that said, I think this is Kayla saying we need to buy that bag of Skittles.
Right. Right.
Oh man, that's so beautiful. I love that. And the thing is, I have never enjoyed, and this is the stuff that's so powerful. These little stories that sometimes we're thinking, well, my little story, maybe that's not going to really touch anybody or have much meaning. But I know for me, when you told me the Skittles story, and through an email, I got to read that little paragraph of what Kayla said about Skittles and how they relate to life. I don't care for Skittles. I'm more of a chocolate person, so that kind of hard candy like that doesn't do it unless it's an M&M.
With chocolate in there.
Right, absolutely. And so now every time I see Skittles, who do you think I think about? And that's the thing that I find so beautiful about this is how everything is so interwoven with another person. So just sharing these stories of these little things that our children did, and those that are still living, that how they impact another person. So now, me not knowing Kayla at all, except through you, that now I get to carry Kayla forward, because every time that I see a Skittle, it's like, sending you love and blessings, Kayla. I hope you're having a beautiful day, which I do believe that those who pass away are having beautiful days all of the time. And I just find it a wonderful knitting together of another heart that I otherwise would not have known. And now I look at Skittles completely different, how we can start shifting and changing how we look at things because of how another person impacted our lives.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So Sue, as we start to bring this in for a landing here, could you share with us a little bit more about compassionate friends and what it is, your role that you play with compassionate friends, and how you got into that role and how it serves other people?
Yes, I heard about it through another mother who lost her daughter. So it's an international organization for bereaved parents, grandparents, and siblings. I'm a chapter leader, and basically, our meetings are non professional led support groups where everybody gets to go around and introduce themselves. Some people don't like to say a lot, they are there just to listen, and that's fine. And some people are there to talk and talk about their wonderful children, their wonderful, beautiful children. So we just help each other out. There are little tricks that other people say, well, this helped me, or I liked this, or I didn't like this. And one person may look at that and go, oh, I'm going to take that away and try that next time. So it's an organization that has really helped me. And I feel like somebody handed me the box of tissue when I was newly bereaved. And so now I feel the need to pay it forward and do what I can to help out other parents going through this same ugly loss.
Yeah. And how long were you involved with Compassionate Friends before you became the leader of this chapter?
I was attending about 6 years, and
Okay.
then because now I've been the leader about 4 or 4.5 years,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that's for south of the river in the metro area.
Okay. And I imagine that has to be hard, that there are times that when you're meeting and you're meeting once a month, but that because you're back in that space again, I assume, because I've never been a team leader like this, so I don't know what that feels like, but I just would imagine that it can be very hard to be back in that raw space, especially with brand new parents coming in that are just at the beginning stages of bereavement and trying to find their footing.
Right. When new people come in and that pain is raw, you see it and you feel it. And you remember those days. You remember what those dark days were like. Um, but it's also good to just see everyone helping everyone. It isn't even just me facilitating. It's, the whole group as a collection just does so wonderful together and helps each other out.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. Do you ever, when a new family comes in and they're raw with that emotion, do you ever feel Kayla's presence there with you?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it's funny that you say that. If somebody just brings up Skittles, there's another person in the group whose child really loves Skittles.
Oh,
Then I can tell my story. I'm like, oh, yep, Kayla, you must be right here behind us,
yeah.
laughing and reminding us about the Skittles.
Oh, don't you love it? I
Yeah.
just love it. Oh. Oh, Sue, I am so grateful for your time. I'm so grateful for you sharing your story and sharing Kayla's story and how it impacted your entire family, how it impacted Hallie and the other recipients that received her organs. That you were blessed to be able to meet and have conversations with and see face to face. I find that just so, it's just like a closed loop. It just kind of brings that whole thing full circle around. And I'm just in awe of that. And I'm so grateful for your time and sharing all of this information with us.
We've always said, as our family, we didn't have a choice in losing Kayla, but we have a choice in how we live our lives going forward.
Hmm. Isn't that the truth? Absolutely. That's beautiful. Sue, if people wanted to get in touch with you to find out more information about Compassionate Friends, how would they do that?
Yes, you can email me at borgerson@charter.net, BORGERSON charter.net, or my phone number for Compassionate Friends is 952-797-6346, and you can text or call or email. Either way, you can get a hold of me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And that information, how to reach out and be in contact with you, will also be in the show notes. So if you weren't able to write that down, don't worry, that will all that information will be in the show notes. So Sue, thank you so very much. I'm so grateful. And from my heart to your heart, and from my daughter to your daughter, so much love to you, and many, many blessings, and many more years of sharing the grace and beauty and love of Kayla.
Thank you, Nada.
Thank you. Bye-bye for now. See you all next week.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Please go to nadahogan.com for show notes and other information you can use right away. If you liked what you heard here, please subscribe to our show, and don't forget to rate and review right there on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your shows. And don't forget to tell your friends about it. We'll see you next week.